no, no, no. Oh.
On Friday, 10th December 2010, the world commemorated the International Day of Human Rights with the theme, Speak Up, Stop Discrimination. The commemoration was also done in Lagos, Nigeria, by a team conveyed by a law student of University of Lagos and founder of Know Your Constitution, Mr. Adeola Austin Oyinlade. Oyinlade, with his team members who are also law students of University of Lagos, Lagos State University and Nigerian Law School, Lagos Campus, commemorated the day by empowering Lagosians with regard to their constitutional rights as Nigerian citizens and non-citizens alike by distributing 10,000 copies of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria free of charge. According to Adeola Austin Oyinlade, the founder and executive director of Know Your Constitution initiative, he believes that the exercise will go a long way towards reducing the high incidence of ignorance of the beneficiaries regarding their basic rights and will encourage political participation needed to sustain Nigeria's nascent democracy as the country go into the general elections in the year 2011. Know Your Constitution on Unilag 103.1 FM has contributed immensely to expanding the frontiers of liberty, human rights, democracy, and happiness of ordinary citizens of Nigeria. Oyinlade and his team of 20 volunteers trained on how to educate and empower people with knowledge of the Constitution converge at the University of Lagos main gate in Akoka at 8 a.m. in branded t-shirts bearing the United Nations Human Rights Day Constitution for All covered 7 local government areas in the Lagos metropolis, namely Yaba, Bariga, Bagada, Koshofe, Oshodi, Ikeja, and Mushin. The communication was carried out through direct dialogue as opposed to the use of microphones and other such noise pollutants. At 9 a.m., the team left University of Lagos, Akoka, for the popular Bariga market, a 10-minute drive from Unilag, as the university is being called, to the first stop, Bariga Market, in Bariga, Shomolu local government area of Lagos. The team parked beside a set of stalls, market women displaying their wares, smoked fish, tomatoes, Ankara, a popular material, fruits, and provisions were curious. The team leader, Oyinlade, quickly passed instructions to members on how to distribute copies of the Constitution and how to relay the theme, Speak Up, Stop Discrimination, as contained in Section 42 of Nigeria's Constitution to people in simple languages like English, Pidgin, Yoruba, Igbo, so that people can understand that discrimination against women, disabled, refugees, or any form of discrimination against sex, religion, race, tribe, among others in a heterogeneous state like Nigeria is unconstitutional. Mr. Oyinlade started with the leadership of Marketers Association in Bariga, while other members of the team flew out to the nooks and cranny of Bariga Market to empower people with copies of Nigeria's Constitution. While still in Bariga Market, Toyota 18-seater bus donated by the University of Lagos for the rally immediately drew attention. People passing by paused either to look at the University of Lagos logo or to read the banner tagged onto the front of the vehicle. At the tomato stall, people noticed the Constitution would be distributed free of charge. After reading the banner, they could not wait for the brief explanation. They all begged for copies and nearly forced their way into the bus. While the team had finished donating 1,000 copies meant for Bariga and set to move to the next stop, it took serious pleading from Mr. Oyinlade to those scrambling for copies, including men and women, before the team could leave for the next stop. The team proceeded to the Antony village area of Lagos at 10 a.m. to meet with residents and commuters and educated people on freedom against discrimination, and people were glad to have copies of Nigeria's Constitution. The team then proceeded to meet with drivers and commuters in the ever-busy Oshodi for 11 a.m., which saw people scrambling for just 1,000 copies provided for Oshodi route, and many confessed that it was their first time of seeing Nigeria's Constitution. The team members, who abandoned their law classes to empower people with copies of the Constitution, took time to explain benefits and importance of constitutional provisions to their everyday lives. Nigerian police and other law enforcement agents, public servants and non-Nigerians alike were also empowered with copies. The team advocated constitutional rights at Allen Avenue, Ikeja from 12 p.m. and there was a break between 12:30 to 2 p.m. at Allen Junction for refreshment by the team members and a brief press conference. At Allen, the team also distributed copies where people from all walks of life benefited, including literate commercial motorcyclists, popularly called Okada. The team moved to the ever-busy Maryland part of Lagos between 2 to 3:30 p.m. in their quest to reach as many people as possible. After their coverage of Maryland, they paid a visit to the Lagos-based lawyer and human rights activist, Mr. Bamidele Aturu, who commended the team of young Nigerians for their selfless service and empowering people with the law that governs them.
It's very fantastic because you are also bringing awareness to the people, so I commend you and I hope that God will continue to strengthen and bless you.
The team finally arrived at Yaba Tejuosho Market by 4 p.m. where copies were distributed. The team arrived back at Unilag campus by 5:30 p.m. The beneficiaries have this to say.
A student, not even individual, that a student that not be independent, I can afford to do this for us, to United Nations. My brother, I appreciate them. They have done a very wonderfully well. I appreciate, I will read it, and I will tell people, and I will talk to people.
You are giving me Nigeria to me. So, and this is what we are doing to everybody. So I appreciate that, and I thank you all.
This is the copy of my book. I'm so much grateful to them.
The team members, who are law students of University of Lagos, Lagos State University and Nigerian Law School, Lagos campus, spoke on why they volunteered
to join this initiative basically because I personally believe in human rights, and that each and every member of the Nigerian community of the country should know their rights and be able to enforce the rights.
I'm here doing this because the level of ignorance concerning the laws of this land in the Nigerian people is kind of like appalling. So we have Adeola came up with this initiative to better Nigeria and to like create awareness for our rights. So that's why we're here and doing all these things.
When Adeola told me about this concept, I was quite happy because it gives me the opportunity to impact people's lives.
What motivated me to volunteer for today's United Nations Human Rights Day. Malcolm X once said that when we see a wrong and we do nothing about it, we are not helping the oppressed. In other words, we are helping the oppressor. So it's on us to actually do what we have to do to actually aid the oppressed.
My experience so far has been very unique. Just like Chinua Achebe said, things fall apart, the center cannot hold. With this activity that we're doing, sharing out 1999 Constitution, I feel that we're trying to make the center hold. We're trying to give Nigerian citizens a hope.
That's a precaution for them, show them their rights. Okay, this is section 14, section 15, section 16, 17, and they're not like, wow, so I just right. And someone was surprised when they saw that that education was, that women should buy education from primary. You were like, wow, so you don't ask this. And then I was telling about their right to life, dignity of human person, freedom of movement, freedom of expression, and they were so surprised that so these things existed, and I had to enlighten them and to make sure they were aware, and they were so impressed. And I thank God that I've been able to impact, like I've been able to make people move from ignorance to knowledge, and knowledge is power, and I've been able to empower people today. So I'm very happy with the experience so far.
Well, we've had a very wonderful time. We were almost, eating up at Bariga there. People were actually rushing the Constitution. People wanted to have a copy of the Constitution. We hope that we had enough, to give all Nigerians. But with the little we had, we were able to do justice to it. We were able to give to these people, and we thank God that Nigerians are actually very, very, very optimistic. They want to read these things, they want to know these things, and we believe, we are very, very optimistic that in the next few years from now, we will have a situation whereby Nigerians will know.
And today's experience was particularly wonderful. We went around different areas of Lagos State and we were sharing our copies of the Constitution. It was a bit stressful, but we thank God, and it was very fruitful. People rushed out to get their copies, and we hope that we have made a difference.
By our act today and enlightening our people, we have done exactly that, and we know that this will be continued, in the future. And we thank God, and it was lovely.
As regards the United Nations theme on discrimination against, that nobody should be discriminated against, whether no matter your color, race, your nationality, whatever it is, that you should be regarded equal, because we are equal before the law, and everybody should be treated equally. And because of that, we are working towards making sure that discrimination of all forms of discrimination must be eliminated.
Know Your Constitution on Unilag 103.1 FM with Adeola Austin Oyinlade is a radio program being received loud and very clear by radio listeners in Lagos, Nigeria. It is presented to Lagosians with 18 million people in simple language which is understandable to the ordinary man on the street. Know Your Constitution on Unilag 103.1 FM is designed to ask people from all walks of life on the awareness of their rights as contained in the Constitution of Nigeria 1999, as well as other laws currently in force in Nigeria. The mission is to contribute immensely to expanding the frontiers of liberty, human rights, democracy, and happiness of ordinary citizens in Nigeria, to empower Nigerians and non-Nigerians alike on how to enforce their rights and to achieve Nigeria being delisted from the list of human rights violation countries. The program has empowered Lagosians to make legal decisions on legal matters. Many Lagosians who had land issues, for example with Omonile, after free legal counsel on the program, can now boast of valid titles over plot of lands bought. It has been established on the program that reliance only on receipts from the family that say plots of land gives buyer equitable title, not legal title, and makes such plots of land subject to court litigations and fraudulent extortion from sellers, most especially where such plots of land are sold to more than a buyer. The program has also created easy access to the Lagos State Police in case of emergency and effective response from Lagos State Police Command to the yearning of Lagosians. Adeola invited the Lagos State Police Commissioner, ably represented by the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Frank Umba, live on the program to speak on the constitutional power of the police and its duties. And he also allowed listeners to call in live to clarify issues and ask for, on behalf of Lagosians, direct phone contacts of all 8 police commanders in Lagos State, which was disclosed to the public by Mr. Umba himself during the course of the interview, so that people can have direct access to the police in case of emergency. The feedback so far from Lagos State Police spokesman to the presenter and Lagosians announced on the show showed that many distress calls were sent to the police, and police were able to rise to such occasions either by apprehending robbers and armed robbers before they carry out their intentions. The Facebook page of Know Your Constitution on Unilag 103.1 FM has about 2,000 fans that email questions almost every day and get their legal questions answered by a team of lawyers. The initiative now has lawyers to handle legal services pro bono for the poor who cannot afford such legal fee to enforce their rights in case of infringement. Oyinlade is an undergraduate law student of University of Lagos, researcher and radio personality of Unilag 103.1 FM in Nigeria, and United Nations Young Ambassador for Peace. Adeola is the founder of Know Your Constitution initiative on Unilag 103.1 FM, designed to ask people from all walks of life on the awareness of their rights as contained in the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria and other laws. It brings lawyers to studio to educate people the positions of law to solve legal issues that arise in listeners' daily activities. The initiative recently fetched him an award from Leap Africa on 11th November 2010. Adeola was commissioned as United Nations Young Ambassador for Peace on 15th May 2010. He was also appointed as a Youth Coordinator, the Kuramo Conference 2010, as a social engineer and problem solver. In October 2008, Adeola did a legal research on the Freedom of Information Bill before the National Assembly, the federal legislative arm of Nigeria's government, and offered legal solutions. He was the official anchor of the first ever Dr. Nelson Mandela Day 2010 commemoration organized by the United Nations Information Center, Ikoyi, Lagos on 16th July 2010, in line with resolutions of the United Nations to celebrate the African icon and true symbol of freedom, justice, and democracy in all UN member states. Adeola was a guest speaker at the Commonwealth You Are the Future National Conference in Lagos, Nigeria, which held between 7th to 9th June 2010. He spoke to about 5,000 youths at the Commonwealth Secretariat Youth Affairs Division You Are the Future initiative alongside other seasoned speakers in Nigeria, which is to engage and challenge students in understanding the significant role of education in the mainstream and empowering of our youths today in all the Commonwealth nations. He has written many articles in contribution towards debates and national and international issues such as good governance in economic and social development, peace and security, human rights, democracy, rule of law, and the United Nations Millennium Development Goals, which has been published in Nigeria and international print and online media. On 23rd December 2007, Adeola forwarded an article to the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, on Millennium Development Goals, obstacles, and ways of tackling them, and got a letter of appreciation from the world body for his interest in and support of the United Nations in 2008. He sent another report to the United Nations boss on contribution of higher institutions to achieving the Millennium Development Goals. In 2009, he presented another report on awareness, the importance and benefits of promoting United Nations MDGs through football tournaments organized by FIFA and other football governing bodies, accompanied with a 1-minute video audio-visual recording where he linked football to MDGs and called on everybody to join him to score these goals and make the world a better place for all. Adeola is the National Deputy Director of Media and Publicity for Youth Federation for World Peace in Nigeria, an affiliate of Universal Peace Federation, an NGO with special consultative status at the United Nations, ECOSOC, building a culture of peace. Adeola has anchored many other international events in area of human rights. He was the official broadcaster of African human rights moot court competition on his program Know Your Constitution on Unilag 103.1 FM hosted by Faculty of Law, University of Lagos in August 2009. The moot court competition had law students from 70 law faculties across 40 African countries. He interviewed students from University of Ghana, University of Pretoria, South Africa, Makerere University, Uganda, among other students from other African countries on how to become apostles of rule of law, how to promote and enforce human rights in Africa. He also interviewed the director, Center for Human Rights, University of Pretoria, South Africa, Professor Franz Vijoin, on objectives and achievement of human rights moot court competition in Africa. He is an associate editor of The Quintessence, the Nigerian Law Students Journal, reviving the culture of legal research towards intellectual capital development. In 2005, he won the Best Radio Personality of the Year, courtesy the Negroes Awards. In 2008, the Best Nigerian University Presentation on the Review of Nigeria 1999 Constitution, member of the University of Lagos team, by Justice Mohammed Lawal Uwais Law Students Foundation. In 2008, Adeola won the Best Speaker Awards, Justice Chukwudifu Okuta, Moot Court Competitions, University of Lagos. On 7th April 2009, he was presented the University of Lagos Certificate of Excellence by the then University of Lagos Vice-Chancellor, Professor Tolu Odugbemi, as a student leader, member of the University Student Congress and participant for the review of Student Union Constitution for the University of Lagos. On 30th May 2009, African Newspapers of Nigeria PLC Saturday Tribune named Adeola Austin Oyinlade its Youth Achiever. On 15th May 2010, International Family Day, he was commissioned as a United Nations Young Ambassador for Peace. On 9th August 2010, he was named Sunshine Youth Ambassador ahead of other 78 nominees who are bankers, politicians, and lawyers who are sons and daughters of Ondo State, Sunshine State, for his ingenious activities and consistent records of feat as a student by Citizen Reporter. On 11th November 2010, Adeola won the prestigious 7th Nigerian Youth Leadership Awards 2010 by Leap Africa, alongside other 4 young Nigerians who are making change out of over 140 youths nominated for the year 2010 awards. On 29th November 2010, the Westerner Magazine Volume 2, Number 34 edition in Nigeria, named Adeola Face of the Future. On Tuesday, 21st December 2010, Adeola Austin Oyinlade was named a Man of the People by Next Newspapers for his contribution to national and international development. He spoke about the rally, challenges, volunteers, among others.
United Nations Human Rights Day 2010, I decided to give out 10,000 copies of 1999 constitutions to people free of charge in Lagos, which we've donated. We've been around since morning, and we just finished everything by 5 p.m. in the evening here. So I felt that everybody should actually understand their right, what is in the constitution. They should know how to enforce their right in case of infringement. Challenges, wow, it wasn't that easy to get 10,000 copies of the constitution given to people free of charge, because it cost a whole lot of money. When I started this idea, I spoke to a whole lot of professionals who are lawyers, and to actually support, give us constitution. We didn't really ask for money. We didn't ask for money. Give us constitution. But the normal excuse, there is no money, there is no money. And then on the program, we've actually assured people that we're going to give them constitution. And when we didn't see get any response from all these people, and it's don't mean that I just have to look for the constitution on my own. Even the constitution costs 10,000 copies at the rate of 160 naira per one. Cost also 1.6 million naira. And I'm a student, a final year law student in the University of Lagos, for God's sake. Even though I do radio presentation, I write, I make small money, and I'm like, wow, I've not actually made up to that. I don't have such money in my own account. So how do I raise that? Well, I look for all I have, check my account, I brought everything out. I spoke to a friend. 2 lawyers gave me 45,000 naira, and we joined it together, and I spoke to members of my family as well. They all supported me to raise the money. The volunteers, I must really commend these guys. We have about 13 of them from Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. We have 5 people all the way from Lagos State University, Faculty of Law, and the remaining people are from Nigerian Law School, Lagos campus. Because we felt that the right people that will actually go all out to speak to people why they need to have copies of the Constitution should be people that have been trained, lawyers at Equity, those who have the knowledge of law, because they will be speaking law, to ordinary man on the street in a layman's language. So when I saw the idea to all these guys, they felt like, wow, what a good concept to impact on the life of people, to make people happy, to empower them with their rights. Oh, let's go. And I told them, come, you guys, we don't pay money for this, I'm the one paying for everything. And they were like, yes, they will do it for free. I said, good. But United Nations Human Rights is going to be on Friday. We'll be missing our human rights class and evidence class. They said they can sacrifice that for Nigerians. I'm like, wow. Thank you, guys. We should do everything possible to accommodate everybody. Let's encourage women as well. They have something to offer. We have women of virtues all over the world. These are the people that are also social engineers and problem solvers, that they will give them the opportunity and encourage them as well. They will make meaningful contributions towards national and international development. Disabled, again, disability does not mean that there is no ability. You know, if you are disabled, if you have something to offer intellectually, why should we discriminate against them? The same thing goes to people from another tribes. For the fact that I'm a Nigerian, that does not mean that Nigeria is all about problem. Nigeria should also solve problem. That someone else is from South Africa or from United States of America, we should not discriminate against people. We are one. We all have contributions to make towards national and international development. United Nations has done the right thing, pick the team for this year, and of course we are glad, and we feel that in Nigeria, before we also have in our own constitution right against discrimination. But most of people don't know. That's one of the reasons we have to share the constitution for people. If they have the constitutions, they will know that there is a right against discrimination. So most of them before maybe displayed ignorance, with all due respect, but now some of them who have the copy of the constitution can now say that, oh, I know it's a fundamental right in the constitution. If I'm discriminating, I'm infringing on the right of another person, and such right can be enforced against me. So we should not discriminate against anybody, irrespective of their religion, the race, the tribe, the color, anything, sex. We are all one. We are all one. We are all one.
Adeola is planning a rights conference tentatively fixed for March 2011 at the University of Lagos main auditorium. He intends to bring Inspector General Police in Nigeria to come and speak on the rights of an accused. Other speakers will speak on the rights of non-Nigerians in Nigeria, among other rights that are critical and fundamental to people's survival. The conference will be free for all participants. For support and sponsorship, contact Know Your Constitution Initiative, P.O. Box 8312, Marina, Lagos, Nigeria. Telephone 234 803 8267 683 or 234 805 1336 995. Email knowyourconstitution@yahoo.com. The website is www.adeolaoyinlade.com/knowyourconstitution.
no, no, no. Oh, yeah. I'm in chains, you're in chains too. Our uniforms and you are uniforms too. I'm a prisoner, you're a prisoner too, Mr. Jailer.